Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HADO's, at least to our knowledge, first ever international HADO tournament. Today, we have three amazing, at least I can speak for myself, amazing HADO players here, amazing commentators, me, Richard.
And I'm Kent from HADO Australia.
And me, Marcus from HADO New Zealand.
Yeah, that's amazing. So likewise to the commentators, you also have three different countries. So this is, to my knowledge, the most countries that have ever participated in a single international tournament. What this means is kind of we'll be able to see the kind of like birthplace of what could be the future of HADO, I would say, because HADO has always been really like locked to your local community, right? Other than like international tournaments, which I would say like World Cup, Game of the Future, and some like global events, like maybe European Cup, or what Korea has done recently, which is the one where they went around European countries, stuff like that, or like the Unity Cup with Japan, or like the, stuff like that. Other than that, you have to physically travel, which costs tons of money, costs tons of time as well, and is a pain to organize. I'm not saying this is not a pain to organize. Obviously, we have had some issues starting up the stream. We are slightly behind schedule, but we are hoping to bring you guys a great stream, bringing the whole community closer and hopefully much more events like this.
Yeah, as he was saying, this is like the first time ever where you can remotely play with anyone else in the world, which is amazing because, in the past, if you wanted to play someone, let's say me in HADO New Zealand want to verse you in Australia, either I would have to come to you or you had to come to me. But now it's possible for us to just verse each other remotely,
Yeah, it's great because like as long as two countries or two even regional areas, let's say me in Sydney versus someone else in some other place in Australia, we could at any time contact each other and run HADO, which means it's just you have much more options as to versing other players, which just like creates a great opportunity. I think that will foster a great competitive spirit as well, because you're able to verse these other countries that you used to never be able to interact with before.
Yeah, and one thing that's really exciting about this is that there's minimal lag. So usually you'll, kind of expect there to be some sort of lag when it comes to online play on HADO. But shout out to Jacob, who's done so much of the back end and everything, that he's made it really, minimal lag, so that's really good gameplay experience for the players. So that's really nice and so excited for this.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, following on to that, I know the amount of time that Jacob has put into this project, going through all the different things, making sure that there's backups as well to the original system, and like making sure that everything goes smoothly is absolutely amazing. I mean, we know that Jacob right now, he's actually managing the stream. So on top of making the software to run the games, he's also creating these layouts and everything for the stream for you guys, the viewers, to experience, which he deserves a massive shout out. Also shout out to HADO New Zealand and HADO New Zealand people who are helping, which Connor, right, for contacting all the countries. Obviously, we've had some issues getting all the countries available. Like us, HADO Australia, we were meant to compete in this tournament right here with the other countries, with Korea, New Zealand, and the Team Strike, but we weren't able to secure a venue for today, so we wouldn't be sitting out the tournament, but we are really excited to commentate these matches today.
A little quick question for you guys. What technology in the last 10 years has changed your life the most? Just a little brain question.
Technology, I would say
Yeah.
I think what technology has changed my life the most? I think better monitors, cheaper and better monitors have been so
Yeah.
amazing in just helping everything. But also, now I think we might be ready to start a match. So introducing Red Side, we have from New Zealand.
Yeah, we have HADO New Zealand on red side, and the blue side we have HADO Strike.
HADO Strike. So these two are very far apart,
Very
right?
far, yeah.
We are talking Asia to Oceania, right? So usually, how long would the flight be? Like 10
Like
hours?
10 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 10 hours flight. It's like direct, right?
Exactly.
Usually from New Zealand, for the cheaper flights, obviously, you have to take layovers as well. You know, layover somewhere in Southeast Asia or layover to Australia, and that would take hours and hours more, right? Like up to 20 hours or even more for like the cheaper tickets. But now you can see no one has traveled. Everyone has spent their time, you know, everyone woke up, set up the court, set up the arena, got everything working, and now we connect to the online software and we can just play.
Yeah, and exactly. There's no money involved. Like you didn't have to pay for your plane tickets or your transport costs or your accommodation costs when going to play, you know, internationally. But you know, now we have this online platform where you can just play each other where you are, which is pretty crazy to me, honestly.
This could actually be like the future of like tournaments, you know? Imagine like a World Cup. Imagine like a week or month before the World Cup, we had like a mini World Cup from our home countries, you know?
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
warm up for the actual World Cup.
Yeah. It feels like it makes HADO tournaments and interacting with other countries that play HADO much more accessible. It definitely feels like, even if it's not for like a tournament format, even if you just contact another country and want to play some scrims or want to have some practice matches or just some for fun matches with another country, you'll be able to super easily, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that just builds up the, you know, the HADO community, right? We are, to admit, not the biggest community in the world. So being able to be so close knitted with this HADO software and what it brings is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and also a little thing that like HADO is kind of known for is being like kind of physical, and this would be pretty cool. Like imagine like having a physical workout with someone in other countries, you know, because a lot of people think that HADO isn't a physical sport, or like VR or AR isn't a physical sport, but the proof has shown that playing HADO is basically cardio. And imagine having like a 1 hour session per week doing cardio with someone from the other side of the world, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I could only imagine, right? I have relatives, right, in other countries. And imagine you can just hop on a game with them, right? And just call it exercise as well, right? Have a great time and call it exercise. It's like the best of both worlds.
It is exercise. Yeah. I think
Okay,
HADO in
now-
other countries have started to like develop like a specific training version of HADO.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have seen HADO, which is called HADO training, I think.
Yeah.
It's where you squat while playing HADO. And I guess if you want to do a big leg day, you can call it that.
Exactly.
But now getting into the game, I think most of the players are ready. Let's take a look at what's happening in the courts right now. We can see here, there are the bots, which actually is Team Strike. What that means is you can see the actual people on red side. That is Team HADO New Zealand. We have 3 players there, and we should be able to see on the other side players, but they are represented by bots. So do not take them as their like your regular bots, level 1 bots, level 2 bots, level 10 bots, whatever. They are real people, but we just showcase them better by putting a bot avatar on them that captures their exact, you know, head rotation, position, everything like that. It's just a thing to make it easier and more or less simulate having real people on the other side of the court.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna move like real people, not like the actual bots that you would play against in the normal HADO game. So like it's pretty like interesting, you know. Like usually you might expect it just to be the petals or like the health points that are moving, but we've got these bots now representing those from, you know, Team Strike, and it's like, you know, really easy to see for the viewers and also for the players on the field.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have seen, well, I've personally seen Australia, Turkey in international, and I've also seen like, you know, like England and England in like the same local network version. I've also seen a video on England and Korea playing online, but nothing I personally would say is as good as this. I mean, I might be biased, right? I have a lot of interactions with HADO New Zealand, right? As a former player, former co-coach, whatever, for HADO New Zealand, I do have some bias in me. But I would definitely say that having these bots, having all these things, and extremely low latency with all the way across the, like, the border, right, is great. So getting straight into the game, we have Strike versus HADO New Zealand.
Ooh, interesting stats here.
Yeah, we just see starting up the game, shooting real quick. Team HADO New Zealand takes an early hit. Oh. Takes an early hit, pushes up the shield, over position.
Oh,
Liam,
let's go!
Up to the top and just get
3 points.
New Zealand here.
Yeah, get these knocks. 3-0 at 55 seconds. You can see that Strike is playing no shield. But their targeting doesn't seem particularly fast either. They're playing 3-3-3, 2-3-3, 3-2-4. Wait, that means they actually have a lot of targeting. But all the bullets are kind of slow, not that big, which is completely opposite of what HADO does.
0-5!
Oh my goodness. HADO New Zealand shields are so aggressive and it's working so well against...
Could this be a 6-0 win to New Zealand 7?
Liam going
Yes.
crazy.
This could be the best match in HADO history.
Yeah, some might say that. So, number 15 seconds left against the 8-1 lead, but all the shield has been used. All the shield from Oliver has been used. Now he's just hiding in the back.
9-2.
Those crazy values. Second left, and
Oh,
HADO New Zealand takes that overstrike.
Liam going 6-0.
9-2.
Crazy.
6-0. 6-0 is
Crazy.
crazy.
that was a crazy match.
Shield, so impressive on the attack, especially with the shield up front. It was great shots from Liam, you know.
Yeah, we can definitely say Liam did a great job, but I would also say that Oliver also did a great job, right? That's how Liam gets to keep that 6-0 score. He did die one time during the match, but I mean,
if you can get your sniper to get 6 kills, then I mean you can take the one death.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was an amazing match. I personally didn't think that would be the game performance would be like that. I was expecting like a even score, but I didn't realize New Zealand to have an insane knockout against Strike.
Yeah, it was really crazy because we could definitely see that the pace of the game really shifted as soon as Oliver got those shields up, right?
Yeah.
It was like he went to the front line, got the shield up, and Liam instantly followed and was able to get those shots off, right? Despite Strike having crazy charge speed, they just couldn't break the shields fast enough to the point where HADO New Zealand wasn't going to get that value from the shields that were placed. I think that's like the biggest, most important factor was that those shields went up, Liam went to the front line and was able to get the knockouts that he was looking for.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, we would definitely have to ask the players this about how the game felt in-game, but from watching,
it didn't look like there was any delay or anything. It looked completely fine.
It looked like a normal game of HADO, you know? I think the bots really brings that illusion in.
It does.
But also, just having those players be able to shoot their bullets like normal, knock out opponents like normal, play shields up like normal, and have that all be directly translated to the other country to see the exact same thing. I think it worked really well.
Very well, yeah.
Yeah, as the first official match on the stream, there was no hiccups. I mean, everything looked great to me. I mean, Marcus, what was like the most key standout point you found in that match?
For me, I think HADO New Zealand in the last few seconds of the game, they really showed a astounding level of play there. You know, at the start, it was New Zealand getting a few points every like maybe 10 seconds, but they gained a lot of the points in the last like 20 seconds of the game, which I think really shows how much the last moment of the game really count. You know, if you play horrible in the first half of the game, you still have a chance in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, Team Strike also got their 2 points near like the end of the game as well. So
yeah,
you know, there was definitely a chance as well.
Yeah, I think that is the risk of playing Shields, right? You definitely have a weaker early game and a weak late game after all the shields have broken, right? We did see Team HADO New Zealand take a few shots at the start, lose some pedals in the first roughly 15 seconds before the shields went up, and they also lost those 2 points after all the shields broke, right? And that makes a lot of sense because it's kind of like an all-in mid-game. Make sure you get the lead with those shields and really just play defensive, dodge all the bullets. But I think New Zealand also did a great job of just, you know, shooting those bullets during that early and late game, also picking up some knockouts at the end and the start, which is usually the most risky part of the game for a shield strat versus a no shield strat.
And look, HADO New Zealand taking that risky, you know, scenario, you know, trying to get the picks at the start and the end, just goes to show how, you know, good of a team they are, really. Like, they can really adapt to what, you know, the other people are playing, like Team Strike playing a lot of charge speed, so they probably knew that the shields are going to break really, you know, fast, so then they would have to obviously adapt to try and get some picks in the late game as well. So that was really nice from HADO New Zealand.
Yeah, I think that was great. Yeah, talking about adaptability, that was crazy, right? I don't think has 3-3-3-1 ever been played in an international tournament before.
There were 2 3-3-3-1s, weren't there?
Yeah, double 3-3-3-1. I don't think has ever been seen in a HADO tournament. Full stop. Not even just, you know, international, right? I don't think I've ever seen it in a grand stage, or like Game of the Future, World Cup, or like a European Cup. Well, I think this is great news that Team Strike is trying out these different strategies and bringing them onto the board for maybe more development into the future, because I don't think it perfectly went their way as to what they expected the strategy to be. But I think they did a great job in just trying new things, right? Just like how we're trying new things with this online tournament right here. All right, and now I think that we are ready for the next match in this tournament, actually. Sorry about that. So in the red team, we have Meta X as our first South Korean representative, versus a similar country, from the same country, Team Root. So this is a domestic match, more of what we usually expect within HADO. This is Team Root and Meta X from Korea. I have heard of Root. They are a great team from Korea, but this is my first time ever of hearing about Team Meta X. How do you think about this?
I mean, it will be interesting to see how they will play it out. I think Root's pretty, you know, like infamous for their, you know, like crazy plays and everything in like the not international, but like the domestic tournaments in Korea. But Meta X, you know, completely fresh team from what I know. So pretty excited to see them on the stage here.
Yeah, Meta X is definitely a new team. I love the name. It's a pretty interesting name. It kind of has like a futuristic vibe to it.
Yeah,
which I guess how it kind of is.
It's so good over there. I really like it, really.
No, it's a great name, but we can see that we may be having some technical difficulties right now, having a bit of stuttering, but hopefully that will clear up throughout the rest of this match, getting to the start of it. But we can see, despite being an international tournament, we can still play domestically, right?
Yeah.
Creates opportunities as to, we can have New Zealand versus Korea. We could have these faraway competitions, but within these competitions, it doesn't mean that each country only needs to stand one team of their own. They can also stand in multiple teams of their own, meaning, Korea versus Korea, New Zealand versus New Zealand, and whatever. So imagine the bracket opportunities, right? You can have the best of the best from all teams around the world, right? You're gonna have 5 teams from Japan, 5 teams from Korea. But let's say that a different country, such as maybe let's say Australia, which I can talk about, right? We may not have that many teams that can play at that high level, which just means that we can, a country can send whatever teams they want into these online tournaments that might start up in the future, and that just creates a great opportunity where all the teams can experience versus a lot more people from around the world, right? What this creates an opportunity for as well is, let's say a team that doesn't get to go to the World Cup, doesn't get to go to the Game of the Future, right? These international tournaments which only select few teams can go to, such as the World Cup, right? Only one team from each country goes in, which obviously isn't great, but we can have actually, starting the game, we have single shield from both teams. I think both playing 3-5. Blue team gets the first knockout really quick, and in 70 seconds, you can see that no shields have went up. Sorry for technical difficulties. I think we have to live with the stuttering throughout this match.
Even no other team has won at any point in the last 20 seconds. Oh,
Wow,
blue team.
3 points in 2 seconds.
3 points in a lot
Oh
of
my
seconds.
goodness.
You can see that blue team has put up their shields.
5 points.
Very aggressive on the shields.
Originally, we said that we haven't seen the Meta X before, but in this case, it does seem like that they are winning.
Yeah, they are really, really dominant. You can see that what they're doing is that they used up their shields earlier. There is a 1 shield advantage for red side, but blue team really making use of those 4 front shields. And when they shoot, you can see that every single shot gets the value that they're looking for. Now both teams, no shields, last 8 seconds, last 10 seconds of the match, and we will see the result. We are as
Confused
clueless
as you
as
guys, yeah.
you guys watching the stream. We don't know who won. It seems like
Seems like
Meta X taking.
Before we
up
start
the
this match, I would say that the problem we just saw is something we were expecting, and it won't be like this forever. It is something we are working to fix towards, and this was just a small little technical oopsie.
Yeah, it's
that
just
happened
a
today.
hiccup.
Yeah, I'm
as
pretty
in-
sure people in the game are completely playing fine.
Oh yeah,
Just us
100%.
watching the stream here, yeah.
Yeah, incoming here. Here's a replay. I think we'll have the same technical issues, but as the first international tournament, I'm pretty sure how we're receiving the feed from Korea is not the most stable. I think HADO New Zealand or any other country that wants to host tournaments in the future will look into this more. And I mean, that is perfectly fine, I think, for me. I mean, we did see the result of the game at least. It was 8-2, 0 seconds. Meta X actually beating out Root, which is really crazy. I do know that Roots is kind of like a more broad term though, I would say. There's like multiple teams within Roots. That is how South Korea does their tournaments or team thing. It's like within Root, they have like 10 teams or like lots and lots of teams and tons of players split off into different like areas, right? We know that there's like Root, there's like the other ones, and it's like really crazy how there's so much engagement
so many
in
players.
HADO for Korea. And we can see that even outside of Team Root, we look at Meta X and we see that the calibers of players in those other divisions are just as high as Team Root, which is really crazy to me because I'm not really used to the format where it's like there are so many good players in the country. And this just opens up more opportunities, right? For like a weaker team like us, Australia, we get this opportunity to be able to verse better players from other countries with online play. Right, we can say, let's say a new store opens up in a new country and you're trying to develop your players to compete on the highest level, like the World Cup or some other international tournament like that. They can maybe not find domestically the competition that they need to develop those skills, but they definitely will be able to find it elsewhere, right? Let's say Korea, Japan, China, or areas like that. And you can use this online play to really push yourself and verse these better teams from better or more recognized countries, I'd say. All right,
Yeah, 100%.
I think we might be getting to the next game.
Yeah.
We have from South Korea, Team Root, which we saw in the last match. I hope they're well rested for this match right here. Versus Strike will be, we did see them pull out a new strategy, and I'm really excited to see what happens after. Does Team Strike also pull out a completely brand new strategy, or do they do, you know, what they
test out their own?
Test out their own.
Yeah, they could have just made that up and then just like, you know, want to like try it again. And I think it will work if they, you know, get their feet together. You know, they like start shooting shields a little more. You know, it's like quite. I think the strategy works completely fine if they execute it really well. Yeah, against the HADO Root, who played Shields last match, I think.
Yeah. HADO Root played 3-5, 3-2, 4, 1-1-3-5, which is a very common strat within HADO, very dominant within this meta right now. But Team Strike pushing the meta, trying to create their own meta, which is absolutely incredible, right? Like, we rather the meta be pushed in different directions rather than sticking with the World Cup meta, you know, which was 3-5, 3-2, 1-1-3-5 every single game. But that is what is tested. That is what has been proven, right, by Team Mista for Japan to be World Cup winning worthy, right? You can win big tournaments with that. So I definitely see why teams choose to stick with that strategy, right? It is tried, it is proven, and playing it myself, I feel like this is a great strategy. But that also comes with, you know, stagnation. What if a team pulls out a strategy that completely blows that strategy out of the water, right? Or completely directly counters that strategy, as in you can play some strats to directly counter that, and that just, you know, sparks innovation. And I think that's what I want to see. I want to see a great strat come out of a team like Strike that blows that out of the water.
Exactly. Like Team Strike trying the, you know, extra charge speed to counter those shields is exactly what we want to see. You know, trying to challenge the meta, you know, trying to find your own play style. That's exactly what we want to see. So really excited for the next match here.
I haven't noticed that in the background you have a HADO World Cup t-shirt. How did you get that?
Yeah, so 2020. So now going on a personal side story, I guess, personal tangent. Ignoring HADO World on HADO Online. I mean, we can see that. I mean, this sure I would say is a really cool memory of mine, right? I received it from attending the World Cup in 2023, and big tournaments like that were always, I think, the most fun about HADO to me, right? To meet the people from the other countries, to play in these tournaments which are so high caliber and verse all these amazing teams from countries all over the world, countries and regions all over the world, right? And be able to participate in these tournaments were really limited, right? My favorite part of HADO, limited to one or maybe at most 2 times, right? 2 times a year, right? That is crazy.
It's crazy.
And, like the tournament.
So you actually went to the World Cup? Is that right?
Yeah, and these tournaments, like the World Cup that I attended in 2023, 2025, are like amazing. And I understand that, you know, the environment and meeting everyone in person, right? There's that different aspect to it. Obviously, I would say you cannot replace all tournaments with online structures like this. But what online makes it is just more, you know, what we said before, accessible. You're just able to get these things running off the ground faster, right? And you're just able to have these tournaments where you're able to, you know, have, I think, the most fun part about HADO, which is versing different teams and trying to climb your way to the top of the world, at least top of the world in person, because you couldn't verse the different teams, right? You couldn't verse, let's say, in 2023, Hibana made it, but 2025, Mista made it for Team Japan, and you're just not able to verse the caliber of like teams from these different countries that have fierce competitions. I know it's the same for like for countries like Korea, where they have multiple amazing teams, but you only can send one to the World Cup, which just means, you know, I wasn't able actually to verse amazing teams like, you know, Team RGB from South Korea, or amazing teams like Colorful or Hibana in 2025 World Cup, which would have posed great challenges. And what online allows that is less of a, you know, a funnel for each country to pick the best teams to represent them, but rather you're able to just have a lot more teams, a lot more higher caliber, and you can say that you truly are the best in the world with online.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, this opportunity brings so much potential for HADO. Well, I guess playing HADO isn't the only thing in HADO that makes HADO HADO. What I mean by that is, in the World Cup, you are actually engaging with the other people, you know? Right now, if we verse people online, it's amazing that we can verse our people in other countries, but it's not primarily just the shooting bullets that make HADO HADO. The great thing about HADO, especially, is the community we have. You know, we all support each other. We all want the best for each other. No one's enemies. You know, sure, in the World Cup, we all might be like, well, we want our team to win. But at the end of the day, we all support each other.
Right, in the joint goal of fostering, you know, a better, I guess, like fostering that community within HADO and just creating a better environment for playing and for just like socializing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like HADO, like I mentioned before, is not the biggest community in the world, but I would say it's a great place, right? You get to meet all these new people, and at the end of the day, we're all just friends, right? It is a great time. Have a blast in the World Cup, and hopefully HADO Online will bring in situations that can mimic that.
I would say HADO, although doesn't have the biggest presence, it definitely has the strongest presence.
Yeah, very strong presence, I would say. I think we just need to push out more. And how do we push out more? I think that is coming from having bigger tournaments, right? And you can't just fly everyone over to a country multiple times. Obviously, there is a lot of money and a lot of time involved in creating these in-person tournaments, right? Which creates the best atmosphere, obviously. But online, just, you know, have an online tournament, right? You can invite everyone that you would have invited for those in-person tournaments, and you can really just grow the community by that, right? Get exposure onto those matches which were played online, obviously. I don't know if countries will call it legitimate or whatever, because there could be slight differences within the ping, because obviously sending out
HADO, although
these packets
doesn't have.
I'll say. I think we just need to push out more. And how do you push out more? And you can't just fly everyone over to a country multiple times. Obviously, there is a lot of money and a lot of time involved in creating these in-person tournaments, right? Which creates the best atmosphere, obviously. But online, just, you know, have an online tournament, right? Never mind. I'm sorry for that.
That was okay.
We might be on the stream twice right now, but that is Okay. I think.
I have a little question for you,
Yeah.
Richard and Kat.
Yeah.
What would each HADO team competing in this tournament? What superhero would they be? Imagine the whole team
Superhero.
as a
I
superhero.
mean, I wouldn't say I'm the most knowledgeable about these teams participating. We have watched every single team play
we
right
have,
now.
yeah.
We have seen Strike play, Root play, Mesa X play, HADO New Zealand play, but it's really hard to come to these conclusions when I've only seen them play one
Exactly,
match.
right? So,
But what I would say is, I think Roots has, like, without a better word, the most aura, right?
the
They
aura.
have the
Jack.
most accolades under their name, and definitely, I think, are the most respected within this tournament, right? They're the most heard of, they're the most known, and what that means kind of is just, you know, that they're really scary to play against,
Yeah,
I would say. And with that, what is a superhero
What is a superhero?
that just
Yeah.
has
Scary.
aura?
No, Superman.
I
Right.
think Batman maybe. Batman has kind of aura.
Batman does
Batman
have
has
aura
aura.
too.
I think Batman, like, works, you know, like,
Oh.
round of
Yeah, it's more like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Batman, you know,
This-
has that, like, because I think they're really out there, right?
Exactly.
Or Homelander. If you know who Homelander is.
I'm not too familiar with
familiar with that one. But I think Superman's a pretty good,
Yeah.
you know,
Superman.
representative of superhero.
I'll say Team Strike right now, I think, is like more of like the underdog,
Yeah,
right?
I
They're
agree as
not
well.
the most known. They are pushing innovation,
Really creative, yeah.
right?
I think we can see the match right now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
in blue side right now.
Blue
in
side
this
right now,
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you name Team Strike as, right?
Strike,
More the
yeah.
underdog, someone you have to want to root for, that wants to push the future of HADO.
Exactly. Oh wait.
Oh, actually, getting
actually, the
right
game
into
is
the
done,
game.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
can see
Strike
the
on blue team and red.
one from Jim. I'm not too sure about that.
But we've got a 3-5 and a shield.
3-5 Yeah, 3-5. But I think we're actually doing
Doing a
restart
restart.
for the stat issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like, you know, Team Strike has gone back to meta, possibly. It depends what Jim plays, obviously.
Yeah,
But
they could be playing
we-
double
we-
shield
yeah,
for all we know.
We do have a 3-5 and a 1-1-3-5, so yeah.
Yeah, 1-1-3-5-3-5. We could, I guess, guess the stats,
Yes,
right?
is that, you know,
Most traditionally, 3-2-4-1.
3-2-4-1. Yep.
But they could also be doing something crazy like 2-2-5-1.
2-2-5-1.
Or
yeah.
they could do something that obviously I'm very familiar with. Like they could play double shield.
Double
1-1-3-5 and try to, because we did see how effective double shields were against Korea during the World Cup. I'm not sure if everyone here has watched the match between New Zealand and Korea, but the match was so close. Or even grabbing a different accolade, right? France beating China with
Yep.
double shields in the World Cup is another proof that really pushing the meta or changing it up to something what other countries have never seen before might actually give you that competitive edge within tournaments.
%100%.
Yeah, I mean, we're just doing a restart right now just because of some technical difficulties. I can assure you that what we are seeing from the stream is not what is
Happening
perceived
on
by the
with
player.
players,
Yeah, it's like when you see the stuttering and the lag from the eye, that is only from sending the video output to New Zealand to stream, which is creating kind of like a buffer or bottleneck and kind of laggy. But when you're playing, it is completely normal.
Exactly.
You won't really notice the difference. I mean, we know that Team Roots and Team Strike is really close proximity. So when they play, what our system does is that it makes it so it doesn't have to, you know, have crazy ping if countries are close together. What happens is the ping will actually be lower when you verse a country closer to you.
Yep.
When we did a test with HADO Australia and Su HADO, which is our club, did a test with HADO New Zealand, we were getting 30 or even lower ping, which is
That's barely noticeable from the player's perspective. Exactly.
At least for me, it was not noticeable at all.
Wasn't,
it felt like a perfectly normal game of HADO, and it was amazing to see.
Yeah. What this reminds me of is, have you ever been on a video call with someone from like really far away?
I mean, realistically, we are on a video call right now from, you know.
Yeah, but
over the ocean.
well, here in New Zealand compared to you in Australia, that's not that far. But I mean, it is like sometimes I'm on call with like my grandparents in India, and like I can see the quality, the frames just drop, because the proximity and the distance between us is just so far.
Yeah, but we can assure you that we are actually. I don't think we're using the same stream of internet as that for our game, but maybe for our stream, it is going through, you know, like the public network.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Also,
some drops,
because I'm pretty sure
it is amazing.
I'm pretty sure the server I'm connected to is the same server you're connected to.
Oh,
wait.
Team Strike has lost Jim.
This might be another restart, possibly.
But Team Root pulling out the
2-2-5-1.
That is what we were talking about, that Strike might play.
Exactly.
But no, Root pulled it out themselves.
Yeah.
It seems like we have reached another restart because not too sure.
One player couldn't join in
I don't
that
think
match. Yeah.
Jim may have not readied up or something.
Yeah, possibly.
But that's alright. I mean, we'll get straight into the game.
That'll be pretty quick restart. Just,
it'll be a quick restart. We'll get every person to set in their stats, make sure everyone's ready, start the game. For hopefully third time's lucky.
Yeah. But that 2-2-5 that from, you know, HADO Root, what do you think about that, Richard?
I am actually a 2-2-5-1 advocator. I think it is a very underrated stat. 2-2-5-1, while you're not able to, you know, get those personal knockouts like what we would expect from a player like, I don't know, let me just give an example, like Zuma, right? Rarely loves the 3-2-4 bullets to get those actual knockouts, but you know, from a player that isn't looking to get those knockouts but rather to break shields, support their team more, I think 2-2-5-1 is a great strat, as you know, that extra charge speed allows you to break shields faster. And also, if you're playing more of that supportive role rather than the get knockout role, you're able to really, like, because while we call it a disruptor in New Zealand, in HADO New Zealand we call what other people might call like a spammer role, a disruptor, because we think that that player should also be making players move, right? Making, like, kind of routing the player into awkward positions where your sniper can shoot a bullet, get that knockout.
Exactly. I think 2-2-5-1 definitely, you know, sets up your sniper for a lot more kills just because the shields go down earlier. So giving that, you know, like power to your sniper who has the best, you know, knocking out power is obviously like a really good strat, and obviously playing that more support role is better playing 2-2-5 than 3-2-4, where 3-2-4 has a bit more like, you know, like knockout power there.
Yeah. Another thing I'll add is that 2-2-5-1, because of the sheer amount of bullets, you're more able to make someone, like, kind of like hurt someone to a more, like, a weirder direction. While you're not able to hit their bullets, they still have to dodge out the way, right? And making them move, making them get on the floor or jump in or off into the side, you're able to allow your sniper to get better shots on them as well.
Easier shots for the sniper there.
Getting back into the field, we see that Team Strike only has two players still. Oh, actually, 3-3. Is definitely special. We know that Team Strike has less shield breaking power. Instant going up. I think Dennis puts up a half-line shield, while Eve goes for a more traditional forward shield. I don't think our snipers are really playing up at the shields,
not as much as before.
Not as much as before. We did see Root maybe taking a bit of a hit from that loss against Meta X.
Oh, Strike gets 1 point.
Strike gets 1 point past the shield, but we can see that both teams. Oh, Dennis uses all his.
Wait, the 3-3-3!
Oh my god, 3-3-3 Meta.
The knockout powder is crazy.
Yeah, a player like Light would be so excited to see 3v3 being work, actually getting knockouts in a match like this. But we see that definitely HADO Root has the advantage here, right? 3 shield advantage, but Strike holding on to the lead. 85 seconds left. This is crazy, man. It's crazy. 20 seconds left. Strike still holding onto that advantage. We can see that Eve has used all of your shields. 15 seconds left. Can Strike hold onto this lead despite the shield advantage? No, gets a knockout. Evens it out. 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
Three.
Is this game going to overtime?
And Root won.
The comeback.
Root getting that last second shot, getting that knockout to not bring the game into overtime. And wow, that's crazy.
That was crazy. It was really well played.
That was a crazy match.
Really liked the 3-3-3. It actually knocked out. I was very surprised, but it obviously makes sense because you've obviously, decreased one charge speed. So, the 3-3-3 obviously has a bit more knocking power than your average spammer stat. But I think HADO Root obviously, adapted well to that and got the last few picks, which was really crazy. The comeback, it was,
Yeah, we might be having some issues getting the replay up, but we can rewatch the game from Meta X versus Root. We did see Meta X really utilizing those shields. Well, we could point out what's different. You see that Root was taking more of that defensive approach, right? Root wasn't using their shields up at the front, and Meta X took advantage of that. What we saw was the difference maker within the Root versus Strike game was that, Root was putting up those front shields. Your sniper was playing at those front shields and getting those knockouts when they had that 3 shield advantage.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, actually. And this time Strike actually played it really well as well. So, and Root playing really high on the shields. They were putting a lot of pressure on the shields. Despite having the less charge speed, I feel like they played that really well. And yeah, it was a really close match.
I would say that it was inevitable that Team Strike would face that, shield disadvantage, right? They will be down on shields due to the fact that they're playing 3v3. But I would also, on a counter argument, provide that they got, those knockouts, right?
Yeah.
We did see 3v3 get a knockout and really provide the same amount of value as what you might see from even the sniper, right?
Exactly.
Those bullets are big, fast, maybe not as big as 3.5 or not as fast as 5.3, but they also can break those shields because I don't think, despite the stream lagging, we could definitely see that the shields were getting broken.
They were, yeah.
And if the shields are breaking, is there really an issue with that?
Exactly, right?
All right, so getting into the next game. Right, sorry for technical difficulties before. I'm hoping this stream will be a lot more smooth because it'll be coming straight from red side, which is Team HADO New Zealand. Seeing the Sky Tower there in the background?
Sky Tower,
yeah. That's great. Love that. South Blaze is crazy.
South Blaze.
Yeah.
And on blue team, we have Meta X from South Korea. So
probably,
these two probably really, they both won their matches. So yeah.
Both teams winning their matches, which makes this a great game to watch,
exactly.
Right? I'd say Meta X, we definitely saw the pressure they put up on the front lines and everything. But I would say that HADO New Zealand also has a similar playstyle, right?
Yeah.
What that means is, we did see Oliver go up, put the shields up in the front line, and really Liam playing behind that and shooting those bullets.
The accuracy on those bullets are really crazy.
Yeah, kind of dismantling Team Strike's strategy. But we will know that Meta X, obviously, they play the strategy themselves, right?
Play a similar strategy.
It's I play, a character in a game that I won't mention, but when that character gets picked against me, right? I know everything about it, right?
Exactly.
I know how to play against it. I know the best way. I know what they're looking to do, right? And what that means is if they do play a more traditional style, right? Everyone plays 1-1-3-5, 3-2-4-1, and 3-5-1-1. Both teams know exactly what the other team's gonna do, and this will be a crazy game to watch.
Exactly. Looks like HADO New Zealand has changed one player. I think Oliver is out for Wakey. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
we did
Wakey
see
has
Oliver
always
play
seen
Shields.
Yeah.
amazing.
So they
Oh,
could
I was
be-
gonna say, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. Go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna say, Wakey, in past matches has always shown like an amazing high level of skill. So it's good seeing him here in HADO New Zealand's team.
No, I agree. Wakey's a really good player. But it'll be interesting to see what HADO New Zealand come up with this time, you know? Since Oliver's their shielder, you know, Oliver got subbed off for Wakey, and so there might be a different strategy coming ahead for this next match.
I mean, don't tell Korea that because they don't know, right? Something different, obviously, with online tournaments is that they don't know who they're versing against, right?
Exactly.
We will see that in international tournaments, we basically never see substitutions because you pull on a different player and what? They kind of know that the strategy is going to be different, the play style is going to be different because that's what a substitute is for.
It changes the dynamic of the whole team. Since you only have 3 players, you know, subbing off one player just makes the whole team different.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. But in online, obviously, Korea doesn't know, or Meta X doesn't know that Team HADO New Zealand is, you know, switching out that player from Oliver to Wakey. So what that creates is they just expect the same strats. But we know as the viewers that, I mean, we don't know what Korea team is right now. We don't know what Meta X players are. Right? So maybe Meta X also changed to a substitute player. What that means is the strategies could be completely different from what we expected and watched in the previous matches.
I'm adding on that. Since we don't know who's who, but also we don't know is movements. As we know in HADO, movements is a really important thing of the game. Like for example, if we're charging a bullet, the other person, the other team can use this to advantage to them. It's easy to tell when someone's gonna shield because their hand is down, you know. But in online, you don't know when someone's charging. You don't know when someone's gonna shield. So games like this I think will actually really pick on your brain, really make the players improve themselves because you are no longer going on movements, but rather you are also going on to aim. I think it will be really good for aim training. As we know, the bots in HADO currently, we're kind of programmed the same way, you know? And something that we really want in the future is to have kind of bots that kind of mimic people. And although we don't have that yet, this is a great start. Having actual, well, not bots. Well, to us, they will look like bots, but to them, they'll be actual people.
I mean, I wouldn't say this aim training is more like a normal match of HADO. But
building on your point, really, you know how like you can't see when they put their shields up? I think it really improves the player's like ability to instinctively know whether this person's gonna put a shield up. He's not shooting any bullets, you know, he's probably charging a shield. So the players will know when to get ready for a shield to be placed. I think that is really like it will lead to the improvement of players.
yeah, I mean, I definitely feel the same way, right? Online HADO isn't a one-to-one direct representation of normal HADO because there is those strategies where, especially like strategies like counter shields, right? One of my favorite strategies where opponents put up a shield, so you put up a defensive shield. You don't know when they're gonna put up a shield. You know they have a shielder, but you don't know when they're charging the shield. You don't know when they're charging their bullets. You don't know anything like that, right? And debatably, that may be better or worse for the game depending on your perspective. But this is just how online, well, at least right now is, because bots don't have any indication of shield, don't have any indication of shooting bullets. But I'd say that it makes it different, right?
Yeah.
It's like you haven't changed up your strategy for online for the better or for the worse.
Yeah, and so if we have more tournaments online and more bigger tournaments online, then there will be teams that are better online than in physical, actual, you know, going to the place to play HADO internationally. So there will be like teams for like or there'll be teams that practice HADO online, just HADO online or just physical, which will obviously create an interesting dynamic in our community for HADO. So it's pretty exciting if that actually comes to be the case.
I would say that would make a pretty good argument against what I said before, which is finding the best team in the world,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Because who knows? Maybe those visual clues that you will see in person is very, very important, right? What that means is a team that is really good on online might not be really good in person,
Exactly.
or vice versa, right? They underperform online because they're used to all these visual cues,
Yeah.
but in person, they completely destroy the other teams. Welcome back.
Welcome
to
back.
Castle
Yeah.
Screen.
Looks like we're just waiting on for Korea to get ready here.
Yeah, I think there
Yeah.
was some issues with setting the stats before
Yeah, there
because
was. Yeah.
all their bullets were 1-1, their shields were 1.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too long till we get ready here.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, something else I want to point out is, I think online technology in this game will bring on a future that's like, just much, at least for countries like, just developing much better, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do Australia, like I mentioned before, not a lot of competitive players. And then I would say that would be the same for other countries.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't say for sure, but obviously newer countries around the world just developing HADO, and they could just like join these tournaments, which they could be creating for their areas, right? Because European Cup, we've seen the success of that, right? Very popular, very good level of players, all of that. But you have to get everyone to the
Yeah.
same European country, and that's like easier, I would say, for Europe, right? Because you have those cheap flights.
Yeah.
Right? You have those flights that cost maybe like $50. Go to a different country just because Europe is so close knitted, right? But what about the eastern side of the world, right? Like New Zealand, Australia, Korea, and areas like that, right? How do you bring these teams together without basically just paying the same for like a World Cup? What I'll say is international brings that together,
Yeah,
right?
I
Brings
agree.
that, as in we can host more of these similar tournaments, and I think we are ready to get into a match right now, which is Team New Zealand versus.
I think we're gonna go on a
Yes.
break. Actually, I think. Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, we're actually going on a break. That is fine. We'll catch you guys later. I think we have some technical difficulties expected of the
Yeah,
first ever
Of course. Yeah.
online tournament kind of thing. We'll get right back to you after this break. Welcome back. Welcome back,
We're back.
everyone. We're back.
From the break.
It was definitely a breakable
Yeah,
time.
it was.
I would say that I think we are ready to get back into the match.
Games,
That's amazing. I mean, I can't wait to see this match. It's been, cooking, right?
Cooking, yeah.
Waiting. Like, we know everything about these teams. We know that Team HADO New Zealand might be, changing up the strategy a little bit, pulling out new players, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, and since these two teams won their games, we could expect this to be a pretty close match, actually. So,
Very competitive match, I would hope.
yeah.
I mean, don't you always hope for
Exactly,
competitive
right?
match?
Yeah.
As a player, you hope for blowout, right?
Exactly.
You wanna get those 15-0, 20-0 matches. But
as a viewer,
right here, which I mean, I can't say that.
it's gotta be some entertainment here.
You
Yeah,
have some great entertainment for everyone watching the stream,
Yeah.
and obviously, we would love some close matches as well.
Yeah, but so far it's been pretty good, actually. I've been enjoying the matches, seeing the new strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
I mean, also just seeing online work makes me so happy, right? It's like makes me feel like there is a future for
Exactly.
these amazing tournaments to be hosted online, especially with how smoothly the gameplay is, right? While production obviously may not be perfect, as in you can see that there is like some stream issues within like grabbing the stream broadcast from Korea, and there might be also be some issues from like countries and players not knowing how to use the software amazingly, but that will just get rolled out over time, right? It's just some bumps along the way, nothing major, as long as the games keep going perfectly smooth like what we have seen. I mean, some players don't get entries, some players don't set stats.
But I think that's
whatever.
like regardless of the online HADO, I feel like the gameplay is completely fine. So yeah, it's just more like an admin kind of thing. Just more,
I think the players definitely, I know that the system to set your stats, to do that type of stuff is definitely different, right? It's not on the iPad, you click some buttons, or on the phone, on your arm, you click some buttons. It might not be the exact same as that, but obviously that'll get ironed out, right?
Yeah.
It'll be super smooth, ideally, in the close future, when we do have bigger tournaments, more countries, more teams, and maybe even over multiple days.
Yeah, that would be
ideal
actually,
for me.
oh, that would be crazy.
I mean, Marcus, what is your dream tournament for online HADO? What is your number one thing you want to see within online HADO?
My dream tournament?
Yeah,
I reckon my dream tournament for HADO would be like, for online HADO specifically, right?
yeah, online HADO specifically. What is like
A World Cup.
online
World Cup. I think if we do a online World Cup versus a real World Cup, we will see substantial difference.
Yeah,
because you can't see the movements, so teams will have to adapt. And I think this is where some of the lower ranking teams in the IRL World Cup can really show their skill. And I think we're starting now. With,
double sniper coming out of Meta X, and HADO New Zealand, I think, also playing.
I think.
Are they playing normal stats?
Yeah.
On
oh,
Liam, put it up.
see in this game, HADO New Zealand with a point. 1-0.
Liam, not counting. Wait, you play in the back, playing that. Breaking the field, shooting the opponent. Good dodge. On you, having that 3 shield. It is tied up. We saw that Meta X took that advantage when there was no shields up. But Liam dragging the points back with those shields. Getting another one. Liam going crazy on that front line. Will Anshu put another shield? Yes, he does. Only 1 shield left for Anshu. Backs off at 30 seconds, but with the point advantage. So he gets 3. Shield goes down. When the shields go down,
See as well.
HADO New Zealand has a lot less pressure, but they still have 1 more of those shields. Shield goes up, waiting to hit the pin without a shield from the back line.
This is
So what are you doing again? Liam has a
To HADO New Zealand.
5 seconds left.
7-4. Let's be it.
Zealand beats out.
That's it for New Zealand.
Wakey in the end, last 20 seconds, just gets 3 picks straight away.
That
Oh,
is
crazy.
crazy. Who do you think is the MVP of that match, do you think?
I gotta say Wakey. He like it was 4-4.
100%. I think Wakey.
Point, and then he just got 3 points by himself. Like just spamming those bullets, getting those accurate shots onto the players. It was
What I
crazy.
will say is, as you can see during, like, you might have noticed, for us, the blue team, you can see the bots going down into the floor, which could be a way we could use this to kind of develop our strategies, because you can see sometimes the pedals kind of go below the floor line, which most players assume that you can't hit it from there. But if I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure even if it is under the floor, you can kind of still hit it.
You can
hit
yes,
it. You can hit it, yeah.
Mm.
But we do see that. I mean, building on what Mark is saying, we don't see I don't usually see a lot of players playing that close to the floor.
Exactly.
But it seems that
Yeah.
Meta X is a team that really loves to hunt
hunting
down the
down.
floor.
Right? Yeah.
They crouch down, they lie on the floor, slide, and all that stuff. I mean, right now the venue within HADO New Zealand doesn't really allow for sliding because the ground is carpet. But Meta X utilizing what advantage they have. But we do see that shield with Liam up there created such amounts of super high pressure, right? Everyone was watching Liam with that sniper, with those big bullets, that Wakey's just able to pick off those
That shot
players,
was crazy.
and also getting one shot, just showing how good his aim is when the other team desperately needs those final knockouts.
100%. That was probably, I think, the closest match for this entire day, for this whole day.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's just debatable because the Strike versus Root match, right?
That was
Last second knockout. I think if the stream was working perfectly, it would have been just as intense or even more intense in the match we just watched. Because I think that was a last second KO.
It was, yeah, it must have been.
I mean, while we wish to watch it back,
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
I think right now in red team we have Meta X, and in blue team we have HADO Strike.
Right, yeah. Going to the next match here. Meta X consecutive matches.
I mean, I think everyone ends up doing a consecutive match. I'm not too sure if maybe Team HADO New Zealand would not have a consecutive match, but it happens in these
I don't
brackets.
think Strike either has a consecutive match.
Right, Strike does not have a consecutive match either.
Well, with more teams, people are gonna have to play consecutive matches. So I mean, that's just a part of it. I think that's part of HADO and online HADO. Doesn't really change. So
I mean, everyone has the situations where, I mean, physicality is a big part of HADO. You have to have that stamina. You have to be able to play consecutive matches, because once you get into those best of 3 matches, you play up to 3 matches in a row, no break, and you just go straight at it. I mean, I know how tiring it gets. I mean, you know how tiring it gets as well. Once you get into those matches where you have to play consecutively, you definitely feel yourself struggling. I mean, going back to the best or the number one, what you're looking forward to the most in online HADO, how do you elaborate on that? World Cup, but with what twist do you want it with online HADO?
Oh yeah, I think it will be very different to see, because we are one of the top teams in the world. We really use movement and really analyzing the opponent's movements to the advantage. But in an online scenario, in an online case, can't really do that. So it will be interesting to see how those top teams adapt to this new limitation, and potentially give those teams who aren't that good or can't recognize or don't know how to play with your opponent's moves to the advantage, and maybe develop their strategies more on their movements.
Yeah, exactly. And also building from your point where the the robots looked like they were going down into the floor, that could be something that, online HADO, trying to find some sort of gameplay in online HADO itself, like a meta, like going down might be more effective than going up. kind of thing.
Yeah.
If pedals are on the floor. So that like trying to find these little nitty gritty scenarios and like little like things that you could do to get yourself an advantage could be a completely new thing when it comes to HADO. So that is also pretty exciting.
Yeah, if I mentioned something, I found it really funny in the matches before where when a player from Meta X looks straight up, right? When you dodge straight up, when you do this, when you look straight up, what that creates is the whole bot flips on its side and it's floating. It looks like the bot's about to do a backflip.
Yeah.
But I think that's great.
It's funny. It's funny.
Definitely a quirk of HADO Online, right? You will never have what the player's actually doing, only kind of like a simulation of it, right? By the pedals, by the bots. But I think that adds to the fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be the same as playing in person or completely the same, but we'll see with iterations. Surely there'll be differences, right? We could create in the future maybe more visual cues to tell you if the player's charging or whatever. And that's nice. I mean, we got a message in by, one of the commentators here.
idea. I wonder if it's like allowed to like kind of lift up another player. Like in gymnastics where one of the people kind of lifts up the other person with their hands. If that's allowed. And I think if it is allowed, that can really play into online HADO because remember, you can't see their movements, so they won't know if you're lifting someone up, which could be a move to get their pedals and maybe possibly even do a little thing where you get raised up and kind of just like push forward, kind of jump off them and kind of get the shot that way.
Yeah, I mean, you could do something crazy like that. You could do a backflip, but then nothing will be like, shown in the actual game. So
it would just look so crazy. I mean, something else I would like to mention is what if you put up a shield and then you lift someone up, like a shielder lifts your sniper up behind the shield so no one can get hit.
Yeah.
And then they just start shooting from the sky, right?
It's crazy.
This could be a new generation. This could be a new tactic.
It could be if someone tries it. It's always HADO Online always has that opportunity for like creativity because it's completely different. Well, not completely, but it's not a 1-to-1 to physical HADO. So
it definitely has its quirks.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to I mean, we heard what Marcus's #1 tournament structure would be, right? It would be like a World Cup similar. But I think the greatness of online HADO is to have more teams, right? You're able to have longer tournaments, right? I'm mentioning maybe something like, the upcoming Football World Cup, right? Where matches aren't just played in one day. They're not played within and there's a lot of brackets that are similar to that, right?
Exactly.
Which you to see from HADO Online might be something like you play a match this week, right? The tournament runs over, let's say, a whole month, right? And you get put into brackets, and then you can make your way out of the brackets by playing these matches against, hundreds of teams potentially, where you might have, let's say New Zealand versus Australia happening at the same time as a different country versus a different country, all happening online, and they can schedule it within like a week or 2 weeks, right? And then they make it out of those group stages into, the bigger brackets, which might have up to like 16 teams or 32 teams making it out of the group stages. And then it will be more like what we saw from HADO World, right? But these matches could be best of threes, right? Even the round robins could be like best of threes and stuff. Because what that means is since it is online and this is played from basically the comfort of your own arena, I mean, not your own home, but your own arena, what that means is you're able to elongate those tournaments and have it be very competitive like that.
I mean, we're starting soon.
We should be
on the field.
starting anytime. All players seem to be ready. This is Team Strike versus Meta X again.
Meta X, that's right.
Hope the players are well rested from the match last game. It was a very close
It
match.
was a very close match, yeah.
And hopefully, I mean, maybe they change up the strategy
Hey,
again.
I'm excited for Strike again to change their strategy.
We've never seen a team in this, well, kind of tournament competition, whatever you can call it, play the same stat twice.
Yeah,
right?
we haven't, yeah.
No team has pulled out the same strategy 2 times, and I think that is amazing. That's crazy.
이겨야 결승 올라가는 거야. 너희가 올라가면 밑으로 떨어지는 거야. 끝나고 나서 번호를 팀을 죽이겠다는 얘기인 거야 지금. 오데스 가서 오데스가.
I mean, we do see the bullets coming out
Yeah, we
of
do. Yeah. Oh,
Messi
here we
X
go.
already. 3,
Oh,
4, 3, 5, 1, 1, 4, 4.
Wow, okay.
자, 멘탈 파이팅.
Increased again. Right.
Yeah, 3, 3, 3, 1.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, Messi X pulling out completely different strategy again.
yeah.
We have seen this from Japan teams before, right? Primarily teams like some, like, I'm not sure, like some Japanese team, like I think like iPro 2, but 2 knockouts from Messi. We definitely see the values coming out of these bigger bullets, right? Despite like the shielder has more bullets to be able to break the
Oh,
shield.
3-3-3 once again.
And oh my god, we can see that Meta X having much more shields than Strike right now, even though they are lower charge
Yeah.
speed. You can see that.
So I would like to mention the even though it might look laggy on stream, it was not actually laggy for the players itself.
Yep, exactly.
So although at the moment having a stream may need some improvement, the actual playing of this HADO style, the actual playing of versing different countries, versing different teams in other parts of the world is still possible, and they have super low latency. So it'll be as if you are right there in the stadium with you.
Crazy shots from Merrick. Yeah. So impressive. Frontline dodging.
Yeah, no teams have any more shields, but it's 11-3. I think it is literally impossible for Strike to bring it back, but Dolman very, very
Another
dominant performance
3-3-3 kill.
from Mesa
Yeah.
X, but Strike bringing it out. I mean, Meta X doing really good, but I mean, mentioning it again, the stream might look laggy, but in game, it's really smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see it from New Zealand's perspective.
Exactly.
From these Korean players, they are really, really smooth.
Yeah.
You can see that Team Strike is really, really smooth.
Yeah.
But it's just a stream that's coming over.
Yeah, it's just
Might be a bit more laggy.
Well, yeah, Meteorix are really aggressive. The frontline dodging was really crazy here towards the end as well.
Yeah, I mean, despite not being able to see like the full picture of the game, we can see that definitely Strike used up those shields earlier.
Early game, yeah.
And despite that, Meta X were still able to pick up 3 knockouts, even though they're up now 3 shields with less shields, weaker shields, and less charge speed. But I mean, we do see that 3-3-1 is a bit less than your traditional 3-4-1
Yeah.
bullets. But I mean, coming from the 1-1-3-5, right? 3 charge speed and 3-3-1, we do expect Strike to maybe have that shield advantage, but that was flipped on our heads, right? Obviously, that didn't occur. And well,
I
it's
think the next
crazy.
game will be our last round robin. It will be New Zealand versus Brute. So, and New Zealand's on their team. After that, we're gonna go into a double elim bracket. Do you know what a double elim bracket is, Richard?
Yep, the double elimination brackets are basically, you can imagine your traditional bracket, right? Coming out of round robin, you'll get placed into your respective slots, right? Like 1st seed versus 4th seed, 2nd seed versus 3rd seed, and if it was a bigger tournament, so on, right? But not for us, it would just be that. And what double elimination means is that you'll be able to lose a match and still be in it to win it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Losing the match doesn't mean
You're out.
you're out.
Yeah. You
That's
still get to
great.
play games.
I mean, don't we love that? We love
Yeah.
to play games.
Because
So-
HADO is all about inclusivity and kind of playing with everyone. It's not just about winning or losing. It's about, playing with each other, kind of like the whole social element, Because that's what sport is. not even just about HADO, just any sport in general. It's not just about winning or losing. It's about the like sportsmanship. It's about the teamwork. It's about showing the other team that you care. And yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, getting to our next game. On the red side, we
Got
have
New Zealand.
Team HADO New
HADO New
Zealand.
Zealand.
And on the blue side, Team Root. Oh,
Who do you think will win this one? Because this will be an interesting match.
Root has had a few more games
They have,
to
yeah.
rest, right?
Yeah, they have.
They have
Yeah.
matches to watch Team HADO New Zealand. I mean, we did see Team HADO New Zealand.
Change up their strat, or like change players, but
Yeah,
not their strat.
potentially
Yeah.
from watching what Meta X did before. Let's see if they change it up again to match what Team Root is doing.
Exactly.
I mean, looking at these teams, I would say that Meta X bet Root
Yeah.
and Team HADO New Zealand bet Meta X.
Mm.
But could this be, like a
You know, like
paper,
a paper, scissors, rock kind of thing.
situation?
Yeah.
Could it be that
Yeah.
HADO New Zealand is weak to whatever Team Root's doing, and vice versa, and just forever
Yeah,
loop?
and that's the interesting thing about HADO. You could have different strats, countering other strats, and that, regardless of player skill, sometimes the strategy beats the other strategy, and that's just the paper scissors rock nature of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, very, very exciting
Yeah.
match coming. Any thoughts, Marcus?
Richard, I was gonna say like, cause you're from Australia, right? You live there.
Yeah, currently
I was just
residing.
wondering. Yeah. What's like a crazy food you have there? Something that cause you used to live in New Zealand. I know that.
Yeah.
But like, what's the food that you think like I don't know about from Australia? I've heard Vegemite's pretty good.
Vegemite.
I mean, you have Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Yeah, Marmite,
I mean,
right?
we have Marmite, but that's New Zealand.
You have
I think
Vegemite in New Zealand.
I do think Marmite. We do, but I think Marmite is better because it's from New Zealand. What do you think, though?
You're not wrong there. You're not too wrong
Really?
there.
I think I like the Vegemite flavor, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, those. I mean, I like those crackers from a certain brand that uses the New Zealand
Yep.
flavored sauce in it, and it tastes very good.
Looks like is it trying to get ready?
I mean, while they're getting ready,
For HADO,
answering a question before about what is something crazy that I've seen. I mean, maybe it's like a quirk of living in the city, in Sydney, right?
Mhm.
I've seen cookies that are like $9
Yeah.
each.
starting now. Red team, HADO New Zealand, and a blue team, HADO Roots.
Ripple
Wait, really?
Sniper from
Triple sniper. That's an interesting move. We see blue team in the front lines more. Looks like they are really trying to benefit off the whole can't see each other thing. Forward in the front line, HADO Root is taking the win for 2 shots. I think maybe HADO New Zealand might have a bit tricky time trying to catch up on this.
Yeah,
But it seems like HADO Root is going back in the corner, but now they're going back in front.
A one shot KO from the end.
I mean,
I really do think HADO New Zealand should be
Right now,
more
yeah, crazy.
Oliver playing a
defensive
more
path.
central shield. And then Oliver going up to that right side front shield, Liam playing off of that. Can he get any knockouts from this? This is really vital that he does.
Whoa.
Oliver with one shield left,
Done with
get
the
knocked out
cross-shot.
from that side. You can see that
New Zealand making a
knockdown.
comeback.
Am I-
With 6-6.
Whoa.
6-7. There's a whole 6-7 with HADO Root and HADO New Zealand. And 7-7.
But this is where the match gets intense, right? Oliver is out of field. We need to see that once these fields break, we know that Root has a great advantage. Now,
Straight roll.
we just need to see HADO New Zealand. Don't get that one out.
When New Zealand make the comeback, New Zealand could have a chance. But oh, that was a complete change.
Almost breaking his head on that floor when he fell over there.
Wait,
That
what's a
is
comeback from
insane.
there?
That is crazy.
Hey, Richard Kent, that match was really interesting because at first I saw HADO Root. They came up to the front line and they were scoring like bullet after bullet, KO after KO. Then at the end, we had New Zealand come up with the lead of 1 point. I think around after the whole 6-7 thing, we had HADO New Zealand We had HADO New Zealand. Get the point. 7-8.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Root had a great lead at the start, but that's to be expected, right? I'll personally call this the RGB strat.
I would as well, yeah.
Originating from where Root is from as well, right? Korea. You play at the front line, super aggressive, just going for that knockout at the start. But when the shields go up, right, you sit a bit more back, break those shields. But the issue with 3 snipers is obviously we do not see those shields breaking, right? You're up for almost like 70 seconds of the game, right? So the most advantageous spot of Root never really occurs for more than, 10 to 20 seconds, which is really, like, I mean, they did really use that situation well, right? They did get a lot of eliminations when the shields were down, but when they were up, I mean, we see right here, right? Liam is able to get these knockouts behind that shield, but now this is just an all-out brawl for the last 5 seconds. We can see I would watch Oliver here, right?
Oh, the dodging is...
He falls on his back. That is crazy.
But the funny thing is, right? Like, HADO can't see what he's doing, like, movement-wise. Like, they don't see him going all around the place. It's just the pedals and the robot. That's so funny to watch it as a viewer, really.
I think right now we gonna have a little break, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that is all of the matches from the round robin.
I'm pretty sure the less laggy matches, or the matches that were really laggy, will be posted on the HADO New Zealand YouTube later this week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I guess we will see you guys in around how long? 5-10 minutes?
We're already gone, Marcus. Okay,
We're back.
welcome back, everyone. We have a new commentator with us. Hey,
Yeah.
Hello. I'm LeVay. I'm just gonna be jumping in, helping you guys out, doing some commentary. I'm really excited for this, honestly.
that's great. I wonder where Marcus has gone.
It's all good. We've been here for a while. He's just taking a break, but I'm really excited to be here. So far, it's been absolutely incredible, like watching all the teams play. And the fact that we're playing HADO and online together is just like I just can't even comprehend it. It's so good. It like opens up so many opportunities, right?
Yeah, I mean, red side, we're getting straight into this King of the Hill format. We'll let you explain it later. But right now, red side, we have Team Root. And on the blue side, we have Team Strike. I mean, currently lowest seed, but I would say anything could happen, right?
Anything could happen, yeah.
Especially in this format. Can you please explain the format to us, LeVay?
Well, basically what we're going to do now is we're going to play something called King of the Hill, right? And the way that works is we have two teams starting, and whichever team wins gets to stay in, and then whichever team loses switches out for the next team. And we just keep going through it until we have all teams played against each other, and whoever stands last is the winner. And that's the format we've decided on for now.
Yeah, this is due to some, time constraints, but that's perfectly fine, right? So game 2 after this will be whoever won this game versus Meta X, and game 3 will be whoever wins that team, that either Meta X or the winner of this first match versus HADO New Zealand in that grand final, and whoever wins and stays King of the Hill will win this tournament.
Yeah, I am incredibly excited for this because so far every single team has brought so much to the table. They've played exceptionally, and I'm so excited to see this moving forward and just seeing the teams go up against each other even one more time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we have before seen these matches in the round robin, obviously, but it will be the same format as the round robin, as in like the match structure. It will be single elimination. There'll be no double elimination. So scratch whatever I said before. Single elimination matches without best of 3. So it will be single matches as we only have roughly 20 minutes left. So as soon as the players are ready, we'll jump straight into the game. And obviously, hopefully we have a great time watching these teams versus each other again, and maybe surprise winner, right?
Yeah.
If one of these teams, if Root or Strike wins out this tournament, that would be absolutely crazy, which is very possible, but it's a lot harder for them because of this seeding, right? They have to play 3 matches in a row if they do make it to the end, and they will have to win out against every single team.
Yeah, and I'm
Exactly.
pretty excited to see any like new strategies possibly, because since it's single elim right now, and if you lose, you're out. Like seeing these new creative strategies will be really exciting to see in these elimination matches.
Absolutely. Because these teams have already played against each other, this is the time where they're sort of at a crossroad, right? Do they experiment and try something new? Or do they keep going with what they played before because they know it works, right?
Yeah.
Do they take the risk, or do they like stick with what they know? And this is a dilemma that strikes every single team, Like, do you try something new?
Strikes, okay.
Well, this is something that absolutely is going through every single player's head. Do I do something different? Because let's say if a team lost last time, they get another chance. They get a redemption game. Do they stick with what they know, or do they try something brand new and experiment that pushes them from that line to the winning point? What do you think about that?
I mean, throughout this whole tournament, we have seen teams really bring out, those different strategies. We saw triple sniper from
Root, actually, yeah.
on that previous match, and we also saw again triple sniper from Strike as well,
Yeah, Strike as well,
in that first game against Team HADO New Zealand. So potentially we could see a all sniper versus all sniper match. That would be my dream. That would be so much energy, so much dodging, so much frontline gaming, right? Imagine Root pulls out the RGB strat again, and it will be just a 5-meter core and amazing match.
That would be incredible. Hey, we don't know what we're going to see, but if that actually does end up happening, it'll be wonderful. Watching these teams play at the front line, just dodging incredibly, moving around like constantly has been amazing to see. And if they could keep that energy up, it'll be incredible to watch. two teams playing the exact same way like that at the front line. This is something that I've never seen in person like this before, so it'll be my first, and I'm super excited to see it.
I mean, I think it's even better, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the creators of the RGB strat. I
Exactly.
mean, while they aren't obviously the RGB team themselves, coming from the same country, same trading area as the creators of the wonderful, wonderful strategy that is the RGB strat, which is what I call it personally. I think that is my favorite strategy of all time in HADO. I love it. I think playing even maybe not even, like RGB strat does not involve all snipers, like not always, right? That isn't the strategy. That may be a variation which Roop brought out, and we did see the effects of it early on, picking off 2 players at the start.
Exactly.
But what is amazing is playing that front line, always aggressive, never backing down, and I think that brings out the best of HADO.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to like remind the audience, HADO is a team game, and every single team so far has not been playing like as a player, but as a team. We've seen these combinations that in and of itself might not work, but once you bring it together, when you have 3 people knowing exactly what the other person's doing and having that synergy together, it just changes the entire game, and it's been absolutely insane to watch this so far. Yeah.
I mean, we can kind of predict what based on the bullets that are coming out of the players right now, we can kind of predict as to what strategy they want to play. We did see some, I think, 3-3 bullets.
3-3, yeah.
So, I mean, that is the magic of Strike, right?
Exactly.
They brought out 3-3-3-1 in, was it every single match?
Every match
that they have
Yep.
played, that has finished, and likely we'll see it again because we just saw it right there.
And I really like it because this 3-3-3 has been getting knockouts and it's getting
Yeah,
quite a lot of value, and like the shields are going down. It's like, yeah, really amazing to see this 3-3-3. Personally, I really like this stat, and the person from Mista Light, he also really likes that stat, so it could be the meta. You never know.
Exactly. 3-3-3 is one of those stats which is like a little bit of everything when you think about it. Outside of shields, you have that chart speed of 3 to knock down shields. You have that speed of 3 to sort of like get a few knockouts, and you also have a scale of 3 that allows you to have some wiggle room when you aim. So it's a little bit of everything outside of shield. So it'll be very interesting to see how they'll play that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 3-3-3-1. Yeah, it is in that weird spot, right? It's like the only stat that I can't truly classify as a disruptor stat or as a sniper/attacker strat, right? It's not like, it doesn't have that spam nature to it, but it also kind of does at the same time, right? You can't get out as many bullets as maybe like 3-2-4-1, and you can't get as many knockouts as something like 3-5 or 4-4 or 3-4, but like it's just there in the middle, and it feels like it should work or lean towards one direction, but it doesn't. It's like it works for sniping, it works for disrupting, and it's like it's just one of those stats where you're just like, you don't know what's gonna happen. The player can do so much things with this.
Absolutely. I'm just going to echo that point. Like, when you see an opponent playing 3-3-3-1, you really, like, one of the upsides is you don't know what they're going to play. You don't know if they're going to play aggressive. You don't know if they're going to stand back and only break shields. You don't know if they're going to like rush back and forth. You have no idea how they're going to play. So that also gives that team an advantage that you don't really know what to expect. When you see someone play 3-5, you can kind of tell, like, okay, this person's going to play the sniper, that he's going to play aggressive. But with 3-3-3, you have no idea. You're just guessing. You're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's a good dynamic if you think about it, because like teams have different players, you know, different play styles. If you have like a person that's more unpredictable, maybe 3-3-3 is a better stat for them, because 3-3-3 is pretty all-rounder, could do anything really. You could get knockouts, you can also break shields. It's like, I feel like it's a really good stat, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
it is. I mean,
I feel like, yeah, every stat is good if you can sort of perfect how to play it and you can play it with the team.
Exactly.
Having that synergy is the most important thing in HADO, you know? Knowing exactly what your team is doing and when you're about to work with your team to get a knockout, right? And 3-2-3 is definitely one of those stats that can work if you've got the team synergy. And we have seen it work before, so I'm excited to see that again, hopefully,
Yeah,
by Team
exactly.
Strike.
Team Strike.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, that's definitely my wish. But another wish of mine is seeing more of those extremes, right?
Frontline. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or even stats like 225.
Mm.
We did see 1144 come out from
We did,
Mesa
yeah.
X.
With the double
Right,
snap.
double sniper.
Yeah.
That is something different as well, right? But all these strategies, I mean, they're like so unique, and we've seen them work to the advantage, and they also have their weaknesses, right? So I think HADO is all about balancing that, right? It's like you play a stat and you have to perfect mastering its advantages and also minimizing its disadvantages, right? Because every single stat will have the ups and downs, and really just you will have different ups and downs based on what stats you're versing as well, right? So if you are playing like a more traditional stat of like sniper, disruptor, shielder, and then you verse a team like double shield, right? Double shield comes out, what do you do, right? Completely different game, right? Compared to,
Yes.
let's say, all sniper versus all sniper
Oh,
RGB strat at the front line. That's a completely different game. I wouldn't say that, like, I wouldn't say the strategy involved, the energy spent, everything like that is completely different, because double shield, right? It's a more meticulous game, right? You want to pick out those little details about someone being in the wrong position. You have to like knock out someone and just defend yourself and all of that stuff. While, I mean, you play RGB strat versus, you know, another no shield strat, and it's just a full out
Pure
brawl.
chaos. Pure chaos.
Absolutely. The thing that I personally love about teams playing aggressive is that's when you actually see the pinnacle of dodging. You know, when you're at the front line, you have no time at all. You have barely any time. You have less than a second to react. As soon as you see the ball, you need to move yourself out of the way. And then not just that, but if you're playing aggressive as a sniper at the front, you move out of the way and you have to shoot at the same time, which can be incredibly hard when you're going up against like teams like these. So I really hope I see that, because that's when you actually see some insane dodging, which we have been seeing so far. But seeing it again would just warm my heart, to be honest.
But bringing it on to another point, I do think, speaking of dodging, that Korea has some
They do.
crazy dodging styles. Like, every time I watch Korea, I'm like, how do they move like that? I'm like, they're just all over the place. They're in the sky a second, and then the next second they're like diving onto the floor. And then it's just like they manage to bring these extremities of dodging, right? Like head flicks, and make sure that it doesn't bring them a disadvantage like outside of that, right? When they head flick, they don't get knocked out after. When they're jumping, sliding, all of that, I think something that a lot of other teams could learn from that is how they play, you know, extremely big movements to dodge tons and tons of bullets all incoming at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, even like going back to the World Cup in 2025, we saw some of the best dodging from Korea, the absolute speed at which they can change elevation, going from like standing upright to the next second being really close to the floor is incredible. Something that is really hard to master. And it just comes down to the training regimen, which is absolutely insane. Even before the World Cup started, at the start, they had a whole ceremony where they like did all these moves, and that was incredible to see. And I was just impressed, to be honest. Like, that speed, that agility is something very rare, and it's really hard to do. And I would just love to see more of it in this tournament, which we have seen so far. But I just want to keep seeing it because it's incredible, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah,
we
just that.
have gotten, right? What is your favorite? What, like, I have given my perspective, and Marcus has also given his perspective on what is your ideal tournament structure for online HADO. Now I want to ask you, Leve, what is your dream scenario for online HADO? Because online HADO has, I think, a great future, right? This technology brings HADO players together, builds the community, all of that good stuff. But what I'm most excited for is those tournaments online, right? Leve, what is your number one most looking, like, what are you looking forward to the most in an online tournament?
Okay, well, first of all, like, online tournaments, I find them incredible because what they offer is accessibility, right? It offers teams who can, let's say, participate at the World Cup to come together with other teams that were at the World Cup and basically versus them, like teams from like Japan. There's so many incredible teams from Japan, but because of the World Cup, we only get to see one of them at once, right? But there's incredible players, not just Japan, but even Korea and many other countries, right? And all these teams that personally I have never faced before, now it gives us a chance to face them whenever we want. We don't have to wait an entire year for the World Cup to come around and then face them. Like the fact that like even next week we could be versus Miste if it's possible. That to me that just blows my mind. You know, like all this like all these teams that before we converse now we can, and it's just this amount of accessibility is just amazing to me.
I agree with that, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the accessibility point is actually just on point, really, with these online tournaments that we could actually, you know, host in the future or like play in the future. I think what I really want is a league. So, you know, you could have these tournaments, but you could also have a league with several teams from different countries. And that would, you know, build so much more improvement in our community as well. Really just playing internationally. Yeah, league would be so great because I've seen like, you know, Japan, Korea and other countries do leagues as well. But having that international aspect, you know, you get to play other teams from other countries would be so much better. It would be so much fun. And yeah, it would be really exciting if we could do that.
Yeah, so we've heard all 4 commentators that work as ideas on it now. I mean, I think all the ideas are great. I want to see them all in place, right? Marcus brought up like international World Cup, right? So World Cup style, one team from each country versus each other, right? More countries, more everything, more actions, more excitement. That is great. I think finding the best team in the world online is a great idea.
Yeah.
I really like that. And then my idea was one big tournament that could last up to a month with as many teams as you can squish in there as possible and just have brackets that play throughout the weeks, right? Making the time themselves, or they could be played like directly at the same time, or just whatever time someone's available in the comfort of your own arena, well, your own country's arena, and you are just able to, you know, play versus tons and tons of different teams, and you can find the actual pinnacle of online HADO, because obviously online HADO and normal HADO is different based on the visual cues. And then I really like the idea that LeVay brought up, right? Like that was like, I mean, great, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we all have separate ideas just goes to show, right, that the future for HADO Online is incredibly bright and there's so many different ways it can go. And all of them that seemed impossible just like a year ago are now incredibly possible. And it's just so exciting to see HADO grow like this, a sport that I personally very much enjoy and love, and seeing this sport grow like this is incredibly nice.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction, I'll say. After this, I would like to see a lot more incorporating, maybe, because obviously we are just 4 people, right?
Yeah.
And we all just listen to one idea. If all of us give a unique idea for these tournament styles, imagine the amount of creativity if we give this, you know, allow this technology to develop, grow, and to create tons and tons of different styles, right? Maybe the styles that are 100 times better than what we mentioned right now, right? That could be played and experimented with, like without the need to, you know, travel so far, spend so much time, effort, all of that into flying out, playing physical HADO, because obviously that cannot happen that often because you need tons and tons of support from all the countries, while HADO Online is more, like what LeVay mentioned, accessible.
Absolutely. Like even so far, even though this is like the first time we've had, you know, so many teams take part in an online tournament like this, from what I've seen, the matches have been incredibly smooth, you know? It's a lot like just playing against someone in person. And the fact that we have it down like this is just goes to show just how much potential HADO Online has.
No, I think that's the biggest thing, right? It doesn't matter. Well, that much if the stream is a bit choppy here and there, right? We had some issues with that this time around.
Yes.
But from what I can tell, from the accolades of the players, from how I experienced it when I tested with New Zealand, and how I'm seeing all these countries versing each other, all that, it was super smooth, right? It's the number one, I think, the thing that you have to get correct for international play online, right? Because I can't lie, when Australia tested with Turkey, it is debatably much further away, right?
Yeah.
So you would expect a lot more ping than, you know, Australia to Korea or New Zealand to Korea. But the issue wasn't the ping to say so. It was more like the spikes, right?
Yeah.
Every 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, there was like a 1,000 millisecond or more spike, and it just made the game kind of unplayable, right?
Yeah, it was.
Because how they did it was they routed it, just exposed the IP over the public internet, and obviously there is going to be bottlenecks in areas where, you know, you get stuck on one area, whatever, and then obviously the game packets get delayed and crazy spikes. But we have not seen that with today's HADO International Tournament, which I think is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was talking to my team, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned this so far, but the team that's playing for HADO New Zealand is a team that I'm personally coaching, and this is honestly my first time coaching a team, and I could not be more proud of them because they've been playing absolutely incredibly so far. But from when I was talking to them just a while ago, I asked them how everything looked on, like, in person when you're playing, and they assured me that everything was incredibly smooth, which is so good to hear. And like you were saying, how you were testing with Turkey, and the fact now that we've got it working so well just goes to show just the amount of improvement we've had with HADO Online. And in the future, we might even have HADO Online being even at a better stage where it is instant. You know, as soon as you put your headset on, you're against a team and you're playing with anyone, anywhere, at any time, which is the ultimate goal, which we all have.
자, 시작합니다.
Yeah, I think the end goal, right, from what Levine... actually...
Oh.
3-5.
All right, we've got Team Root against Team Strike. And red team firing off the first shots. And oh, 1 KO from red side.
This is Disruptor. Getting that pick is really, really big, especially against a team with...
Oh, another knockout from blue side. As you can see, blue's playing a little bit passively, but oh, another from red.
I don't think that
HADO's
is the
at
correct
2.
play, though. I think blue side should be playing aggressive when shields aren't up. They should be playing that front line, playing more forward, trying to get that knockout, because they definitely have that advantage when Root doesn't put up a shield. We see this some
Absolutely, absolutely. As you can see, no one's rushing so far. Everyone's still in the middle. But that is some incredible dodging we're seeing so far. It is absolutely insane.
Yo, I'm
45 seconds on the clock.
Right now. I'm waiting for this shield to go up.
Oh, a knockout from blue side. Incredible knockout.
Strike needs to go on the aggressive right now. No shield.
30 seconds left. And oh, the shield goes up from red.
Second shield comes
And as you can see, they're sitting behind the shield. And whoa, another knockout with scores at 5 and 2.
That is crazy.
Now we've got 20 seconds. Red is at 7. And whoa, another knockout from blue.
I think blue side really needs to break these shields right now. They need to push
We've got 10 seconds now. Red side playing incredibly.
자, 메타에 들어갈게요. 자, 일단 리셋.
Wow, that was an incredible match. Just an absolutely incredible match.
Yeah, that was.
7 points. That was. So we've got a replay. So as you can see, starting off, blue is playing incredibly passively, and we get a knockout from red in the first 10 seconds. So shields aren't going up, and the first shield goes up, but we also get a knockout from blue side as the shield's going up.
Yeah,
That was a good timing shot from Toby right there, yeah.
Absolutely,
If
absolutely.
these shields go up for Team Root, we definitely see that Root has that advantage. And that's why I'm saying when Strike sees these opportunities when Root doesn't have any shields, I think personally, I would say the correct play is to push up, you know, really get that, take advantage of your stats advantage, right? You have 1 disruptor, 2 snipers. You should really be pushing that into Root, making them scared of you to force those shields out and to break those shields extra fast.
Absolutely, absolutely. So blue team was playing no shields. That's why we have sort of like a different dynamic going on, where we have one side playing passively a little bit to the back and the other side playing a little bit more aggressive with the shields. And once you have that shield in front of you and you can get a sniper behind that shield, just picking off players, that is an incredibly unfortunate position for the other team. And that is something sort of what's similar to what we saw here.
Yeah, that was really well played from Root, you know, capitalizing off those shields and the sniper getting those really accurate shots onto Team Strike. And that was, yeah, that lead really just...
Absolutely, just an incredible play from both teams.
Yeah,
So,
what this means,
going...
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, what this means is that Team Root will be moving on to the next stage of this King of the Hill.
Yep.
But sadly, what that also means is that that will be the end of the road for this tournament for Team Strike. I would like to congratulate them on 4th place for the first ever international HADO event / tournament. And I would say they played excellently, right? They brought out the new strats, they brought out 3-3-3-1, and they had some really close games, right? We saw them basically tying with Root in that
really
first
close,
match.
yeah.
But this match over here, I think they just needed the confidence, right? They may have been more stressed because obviously you do have the risk of elimination looming over you, but I think they just needed to play their style. They just needed to go at it, get those knockouts, especially without shields.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. Team Strike has played incredibly so far, and I'm just really, really glad they're here. And that element of unpredictability that they offered today was just incredible to see. You know, keeping everyone on their toes, everyone keep guessing like what they're gonna play next, how they're gonna play it. It's just incredibly. We always need that element of surprise in every single game.
Yeah, they were one of the most creative teams out there really this tournament. So like it was really interesting to see, especially the 3-3-3. I really like 3-3-3. It was so exciting for them to be playing 3v3 in a lot of their matches. So yeah,
absolutely. You know, after this, I'm probably going to play a little bit more of 3v3 because it seems like a stat that has a lot of potential. There's a lot of untapped potential in that stat, and I'm definitely going to experiment with it.
A lot of untapped potential and a lot of shields not getting broken. I think getting on to our next match, we have on the red team Root, which we saw before, playing wonderfully, but they might be a bit tired now, right? Playing match after match.
Yeah.
And then if they win this, they have to play match after match after match, which is crazy. And then on the blue side, we have from the same country, Meta X. We saw them play incredibly. They had a really dominant match against Root in the round robin, so it'll be really exciting to see what happens in this.
Absolutely, we've got two. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Ken.
That's all good. It's all good. I guess I'll go. Yeah. Personally, I'm kind of excited for Root because I really want them to bring out the RGB strat they did against. They did against HADO New Zealand in that last match. Yeah, I feel like that would work really well against Meta X because they are playing one shield. So yeah, I really want to see the RGB strat going in this next match.
Absolutely. I'm going to echo the same point. I would love to see them run that strat because, like I said before, the element of surprise, the element of unpredictability, when you have 3 people at the front just dodging at an insane speed, that brings so much unpredictability into the match and leads to so many different potentials. And we've got 2 incredibly strong teams competing against each other. So I think we're in for an absolutely wonderful match.
I mean, also though, on the other hand, is the RGB strat the number one, is that going to throw this tournament, right? Because we do know that RGB strat involves moving the most possible, right? You're moving constantly, you're dodging, you're shooting, and it takes so much energy, right? In this bracket, I would say that especially for a team like Root that has already played a match, right?
Yeah.
What if the second match they play RGB strat and they get
And they get
super
super
tired?
tired for the next.
And then when they verse HADO New Zealand, which is the top seeded team here, and it's a best of one single elimination, no break at all, right? Will that create a major disadvantage for that 38?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just really, really excited to see this match, to be honest. And just the idea of King of the Hill is just something that I find incredibly fun, to be honest. The idea of King of the Hill, where the team that keeps winning has to stay on the court and keep playing, you know? Like, these teams have played a lot of HADO before, but even playing at your 100%, you know, when you've got match after match after match, it does get really tiring. And at that point, same thing again, you might want to introduce a different strategy, and then you might be starting to think, wait a second, maybe you play a little bit more passively, maybe you don't go aggressive. So I'm gonna say that word again, but they're gonna bring the element of surprise, a little bit of unpredictability, which makes HADO so much fun.
Yeah, it's really just that balance, you know. If you really want to like win the tournament, you probably want to play passive. If you don't want to like play if you're playing consecutive matches, right? You don't want to be playing RGB strat every single match. You'll just be tired for the next match, you know. Like, yeah, there's definitely that balance to it, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, it's a lot like a marathon where you don't want to go absolutely insane in the first match. Maybe you want to pace yourself a little bit out because you know you're going to be playing a lot of matches if you do end up winning. But at the same time, if you don't go 100%, who knows? You might actually end up losing that match, and then all of that would be for nothing. So again, it just brings another dilemma to these teams. And as much as HADO is about the skill and the dodging, the strategy is also a massive part of HADO, and the reason why personally I love HADO, just the amount of variation you can have, not just in stats, but how you play those stats and how you play with your team with those stats. Just the amount of different combinations is incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've heard this one before, but some would say that is a layer of complexity to the complexity game, right? Playing HADO, it might seem, you know, easy on the surface, right? You shoot bullets, you put up shields, you dodge away from the bullets, but I mean, strats and all that adds a layer of complexity to the game.
Absolutely, yeah. The stats, just those stats make such a big difference, and you get like insane number of combinations. I mean, if I have to throw a number, like the ballpark would be like 200 or 300 different combinations of stats you can have. And I am 100% sure there's a lot of them that I've never seen before in my life. And out of those, a lot of them that I've never seen played in a particular way before. So we don't really know what to expect.
Exactly, right? I mean, it's just like crazy, but bringing it back, I mean, we definitely see, I mean, I would like categorize that, right? In HADO, there's micro and macro play, right? Your micro is about this macro is about your strategy, everything like that. Micro is about how you dodge, how you shoot, how you everything. I would say that Korea got that micro game on point.
Especially with their dodging.
Yeah, exactly. And I would
the best I've seen.
I would definitely say that your macro is not bad either. They really play to the advantage, right? I mean, just look at the RGB strat, right? That is 100% micro, right? It's less playing with your team, right? It's less shield here. I play that. Break shields another player, dodging around, switching players, switching positions, whatever, right? It's more just I am a sniper, you are a sniper, someone else might be a sniper or disruptor, and we just go at the front and show them why we play HADO, why we are the best micro team in the world.
Absolutely. Like, even with those different combinations, there are still a lot of things a lot of different stats that keep, you know, popping up again and again. Like, for example, a shielder, right? Most of the time when someone's running shields, you'll see 1-1-3-5. Personally, I've never seen a different combination running in a tournament for a shielder other than 1-1-3-5, because that is the most optimal stat. But when it goes for sniper, you have loads of different combinations. I've seen a lot of people run 3-5. I've seen a lot of people run 4-4. Both those stats have their own perks and their own merits, and different people like different combinations of those.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's also based on the personal preference of the player, right? If you like playing the back line, you like taking shots from like the mid or the back, you would want that extra that speed,
Yeah.
right? Bullet speed. But also, if you like pushing the front or you have a very competent shielder, playing that 3-5 really brings out the best of you, right? You're able to have that big bullet basically spawn in front of them and just instantly lock them out. It's
Exactly.
really, really good.
So satisfying
abs-
to get a one shot with the 3-5, really.
You know, I agree. Playing 3-5 at the front line is incredibly fun, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Just even though your bullets are kind of slow, you know, 3 speed isn't really the fastest speed, but just the fact you get 5 skill and the bullets being like this big, you can just immediately, as soon as you see someone, and if they're at a close distance, you just go bam,
Yeah.
and that bullet goes straight to them, even if you've got terrible aim, like I do sometimes. Well, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, like, even if you've got terrible aim, like, the fact that the bullet's that big, you're eventually gonna chip a few petals off.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but like obviously upsides, downsides, that's basically HADO as a game, right? Yeah, like you can say 3-5 is basically the best stat you can play for a sniper if you're playing traditionally. But what if you want that extra bullets, right? You don't need that extra size. You play 3-4-2 or you play 4-3-2. You know, it's just completely different. It's just like whatever you want, there's a stat for you.
Yeah.
And you just gotta find that. And even if you don't find it, right, you don't have a specific style you like, right? You can really drill it into yourself. Be like 3-5. What are the advantages, disadvantages of this stat, and how do I play it to perfection?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, we've covered Shielder, we've covered Sniper. I also want to talk about Disruptor. Disruptor is one of those stats where you do see a little bit of variation. There's not a particular Disruptor stat that you see often of. You see a lot of different combinations. Like you see 3-2-4. Like today, you kind of saw 3-3-3, which is a little bit like Disruptor. But you always see something with high charge speed, and outside of that, there's a lot of variation. Some people prefer speed, some people prefer scale, but you usually have 3 on the chart speed or 4.
Or you could be playing 2-2-5, which we saw.
Absolutely, yeah. Or you could also, like, one of my personal favorites is 1-4-4, where you have massive bullets and you have 4 chart speed. Sure, the bullets are incredibly slow, but the fact that you can just make a wall of bullets just coming straight at you with those stats is just incredibly fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 1-4-1 is
not bad. It's definitely a stab. I mean, I think the Korean teams may be ready. We might be getting straight into the game very soon. Hopefully, we can get this competition, game 2 finished, get into game 3, and crown a winner, crown a champion. That would be
Absolutely.
We might be switching over anytime
soon.
Possibly.
Okay, well, sorry to interrupt you guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and check in on my team, and meanwhile, I'm gonna have Marcus jump back in to the commentary, okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Actually, the best of luck.
All right, Marcus.
Hey Richard. Hey Kent. How are we?
We are
Good,
doing
pretty good. Yeah, the tournament's
amazingly.
been amazing. The games have been really close. So
I would say
entertaining.
it's pretty good match. I have to do my break. I watched the team and they seem pretty excited. They seem pretty chill, and they love the other teams. Yeah.
It's great.
Amazing.
That's what I wanna hear, right?
I mean, flawless matches from New Zealand here hasn't dropped a single match yet, which is absolutely incredible. It's great to see that they're still making use of this break, right? Studying the other teams, seeing who is maybe to target, what they do, how they play out their strategies. This is all great advantages for being that first place seed, especially in this King of the Hill,
King of the Hill stuff.
best of 1 single elimination bracket.
Looks like we've got both the teams on the field here. Do we know which one's which? I think it's HADO Red team is HADO Root.
Well, game has
Oh, game
started.
started.
Not too sure what stats you're playing, but
Yeah. Looks like we have one disruptor on Red team.
Even done. It's kind of hard to see, but that's how it is. We're still working on it.
Looks like both teams are playing 3-5. Yeah.
It seems like red team hasn't a point yet, but 1-1.
We do see blue team having a shield advantage right now. Actually lost it.
That is right.
But 40 seconds in, 1-1. But with the shields on, they still get knocked.
One.
Nice pick.
I mean,
This
only
could
one
be
shielder,
interesting match,
Look
you
at
know?
for each shielder.
Look
on
how
both
low
teams.
red team is here. With the pedals.
We will see as it continues. Sorry for this.
Sorry
To
for
iterate
this.
again. This is just
The stream.
purely streamed. The game
Yeah.
is working perfectly. It's just our connection, stream connection with Korea is a bit icky, but that will get ironed out in future events.
If you actually play in this, it'll be perfect. With 3-3, this is almost a perfect game.
It is, yeah.
I mean, both teams, I would assume, no more
Oh my goodness,
shield,
last
not
five
a
seconds.
shield,
It's overtime? Let's go to overtime.
anyone takes this.
Well, 3,
Oh my goodness.
2, 1. Is it in overtime?
Overtime? It's overtime.
Overtime. This could be the first time in this international history we've been in overtime.
Oh! Gets that cross. And we hear the cheers coming from the crowd. So, yeah.
It's really good to always hear a great win on your team, you know? It's great that the HADO in all different countries all support each other.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's great. I mean, looking at this match, I mean, there is areas to watch in this match. We can see that the shield usage from blue team, they had that shield advantage, but they didn't manage to capture any advantage based on that. It seemed like as the shields went up, you can see clearly here that there is a shield advantage for blue side, but that shield on that red side stayed for
Yeah,
so
it
long.
did, it did.
It created so much value because it wasn't getting broken, and that allowed red team to get those knockouts, take the lead at halftime.
Yeah, but they were going for blow. I think after this, it's 3-2 the score. So like, it's definitely a really close match, and the snipers getting kills, like off the shields and everything. So
Yeah, utilizing that shield advantage, they did crawl that
Yeah.
1 point back, but it was really, really close.
Sure, 100%. Look at the replay right now. Like, this is pretty interesting.
There was no more knockouts after here, but we can see that every single player on the court has used their shield, right?
Exactly.
Even the snipers, even disruptors, they have
that's
all used their shield. This is an incredible late game and
high level, very high level.
overtime after 1 second.
Is it the disruptor that gets the kill here?
I think so. It's player 5 actually. I'm not too sure who player 5 is. We can watch it. Player 5, I think,
it's
is the disruptor.
Disruptor, yeah.
And guess that knockout on that middle player who wasn't
it was
watching.
1 HP, yeah.
But that means that Meta X, a
They'll
team
take the win.
that was the second seed, is moving on to the grand finals
Against HADO New Zealand.
in this brand new format, King of the Hill. I would say Root played absolutely incredible, right?
RGB strap.
Probably brought out the most exciting match with the RGB strap,
Yep.
which kind of just meant that, I mean, it's just really unlucky, right? Overtime is always anyone's game.
It
Once you
is.
get there, it was such a close match within this domestic match, basically. And I would say big congratulations to Root taking out third place. And I would say I'm really excited to see who first, second is. Is it going to be HADO New Zealand or is it going to be Meta X?
Yeah, MetaX, I've never heard of them before. And it's a completely new team, you know, playing really well in this tournament. And then it will be really exciting to see this match. So it'll be MetaX versus HADO New Zealand in the finals here. Whoever wins this is the champion. Yeah.
I would like to remind everyone that despite the lag on the stream, the games are recorded. So after the stream, maybe give it a few days and high quality recordings will be uploaded to this YouTube channel. And what that means is you'll be able to watch these matches in full without the lag, without the stuttering, and it'll be a better experience. But coming into this last game, we won't have to worry about the stuttering because
Exactly.
we will have a full quality stream, right?
From HADO New
From
Zealand.
HADO New Zealand because we haven't had any issues with that.
I think we're waiting for the next game right now. But yeah, basically to like reiterate what you said, this is like an amazing thing we can do. And although it looks laggy now, you can look back and see. And maybe this might be a good way to analyze the game and to see and maybe see what are some good ways, what are some good strategies to implement with the new disadvantage. I won't say disadvantage, but a new opportunity that comes along when you can't see the opponent's movements. You know?
Yeah, but I would say that definitely it will be a harder match for Roots here because they literally just played a match, right?
Exactly.
They get into the next match versus HADO New Zealand, and it will be really, really hard, I'd say, especially since Meta X played that match. It was so close, went overtime. They must be tired by now. Their legs, I mean, after playing that whole round robin into now a match in the basically the semi-finals of this new bracket, it will be really incredible to see how this affects Meta X coming into the finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just-
100%.
Yeah, just this online format. I feel like shields have a lot more value in online format than in physical, just because you can't see people charging the shield. So like, I kind of want to see more teams or this next match try to exploit that, as in like use their shields and more unpredictable timings where people won't expect it. Because I think that's like something that's completely different from physical HADO.
Yeah, completely different, I'd say. I mean, it's definitely not exactly the same sport, but
Yeah.
it is so similar, and there's like no delay. I mean, I'm just so excited for what the future holds
Exactly.
for HADO because of what international HADO could bring.
Yeah, more deepened connections between teams, more connections between countries, and we don't have to see each other only during the World Cup. We can see each other and play with each other throughout the year, anytime.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Who knows, it could even be like a training exercise to play with each other.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Scrims,
Scrims,
or like
trainings,
anything,
just
it's amazing.
All the
I mean,
opportunities.
So many opportunities. You can even just like imagine the high level of training you can get from versing another high caliber
Yeah.
team from a different country. It'll be amazing. I mean, coming into this last match, I mean, this is the final of the first ever international HADO tournament, right? We will never have the first ever again, right?
yeah.
This is the first display of international tournament ever for HADO. This is it. And whoever wins this will be crowned the international HADO champion. Whether this will become reoccurring, or this will evolve, or a different tournament comes in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because this is the final of the first.
Exactly.
And whoever wins this name
will be crowned the
edged.
first international
Yeah.
HADO champion. Like, that's a crazy title to have, really.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, either of these teams really deserve it, right?
Yeah.
They've been playing incredible games. They've been playing super well, super great, and I just want to watch this last match.
Yeah, this is I think the most exciting match of this year.
Yep.
Of this year, that is crazy. I mean,
But what other tournaments do we have this year?
there's Game of the Future, there's HADO World Cup.
So,
Oh, no, I like
no,
so-
I mean,
so far.
so far.
Yeah.
So far, I mean,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it is.
Oh, from these we kind of, see the bullets come out. I think I see a 3-5 on
I see
blue
a
team.
3-5.
Yeah.
I see 2 weak shields.
2 weeks still. 3.
So that's-
Oh, that looked like a pretty big bullet to me.
That looked like
the
Sniper 1144 for the last match. How many teams? Alright, we can see 3-4-1-1-4-4 3-5-1-1 for Meta X and a normal strap. you will see the difference that this
This
will
game.
cause, right? 1-1-4-4.
Netherx playing halfway right.
I can see New Zealand on the back line. Oh, the X with a kill.
From that, think for it.
Or pivot steal from Liam, so Liam can play front line.
Oh, New Zealand, let's go.
Okay, pivot steal from.
Is he onto in the back line?
Oh, cross shot from John.
You see, both teams playing a typical strategy.
But it's really hard because the shield is up, but how New Zealand does have that shield advantage, right? And it's just
from Liam.
stronger, so we will see that Liam will be getting a lot of advantage. Three, two, four bullets. Last shield goes up 4 Mesa X. Let's see if they can bring anything back. A good chance of shield more defensively for how New Zealand. Let's see what happens. Up to the front.
30 seconds left off the game. Anything can happen. New Zealand's winning. So who knows? Maybe Meta X might take the lead. Like, as we know.
I mean, they do have the advantage. Meta X has the advantage.
Oh, New Zealand with the kill.
But
5 seconds left. What can happen? Anything can happen. 4, 3, 2. Oh, Meta X with a KO. And 0. And New Zealand with the win. With 3-5, 5-3. New Zealand with coming in 5 points. Meta X coming in at 3 points. That's an amazing game. I really love New Zealand. Love the sportsmanship. I can see them right now. They're cuddling. They're not. They're celebrating. Yeah.
Both teams played extremely well that match.
I mean, yeah, Mesa X. I mean, they have that advantage to start, have that advantage at the end, but they never really got to it, right? We do see that HADO New Zealand utilized those shields really well in the front line, and it just, I mean, Liam with those shots. But I think that once again the MVP is that disruptor, right?
Yeah,
One shot from
Anshu.
Anshu, cross shots from Anshu,
Him
picking
breaking
up
the shields as
so
well.
many knockouts, and basically carrying the difference of that game, right?
Yeah.
Breaking the shields faster than 1-1-4-4 could. And I mean, that's just incredible. Amazing last match. And how New Zealand is your first ever international HADO tournament champion.
That is insane. First ever. And yeah. It's crazy to think about. You know? That we are the first ones ever, literally, to do this. And everyone should be proud of themselves. Everyone, including New Zealand and all the other teams, we should all be proud of ourselves that what we have achieved, what we came to do.
자,
This is something to look
수고
forward to.
많았습니다. 자, 오늘
I mean, incredible play from Mesa X, right?
Exactly.
It must be hard on them knowing that the match was close, and I
They
mean,
also played
if
the match
they-
before it as
If
well.
they seeded better, they could have had that
Exactly.
advantage of
Yeah.
first seed, right? But the thing is that we can't take it away from HADO New Zealand, right? They did not drop a single match in the entire tournament, right? They bet every
flawless.
single opponent that they met today, which just shows that they are a group of incredible players, right? Lots of potential, and I love to see how this transfers into future tournaments, online and offline. I mean, Marcus, what did you think?
Yeah. I think that was an amazing match, you know. New Zealand really showed an amazing sportsmanship. They really showed a lot of power compared to the World Cup when I saw them before. They were, even though they were really good, they showed a lot more potential. And I really think in the World Cup, if there is an online World Cup, New Zealand has a really big chance of being one of the first, second, third teams to win.
Yeah, they have showcased their ability in this tournament. So, I mean, all the teams played well. Like, it just goes to show the caliber of all these teams and just like, you know, building this community around the online HADO. It's been great. This tournament was amazing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we do not have the strongest teams in this tournament, right? We don't have the showcase of all the teams, all the top teams from Korea, top teams from Japan, China, you know, from Europe, etc. We don't have this in this tournament to perfectly showcase how, you know, the top levels of how I would say So while this tournament is small, HADO New Zealand did take the title, but I'm really excited to see future tournaments, right? Future tournaments with the best of the best teams, right? I hope to see Hibana, Mista, RGB, the top teams of Roots, maybe like European teams, like maybe Turkey or IDK or England, right? Like all these teams could get involved in HADO International, and that is something that excites me a lot. And with that, I'll say we'll wrap up the stream. Congratulations again. Every single team that played in this tournament played very, very, very well. And I guess we'll catch you in the next online tournament.
See you guys. It's been great to be a commentator from New Zealand. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus. And
it's been a pleasure.
Ray, who isn't here right now, but thank him for, first of all, congratulate him on his teams that he coached victory, and also thank him for coming on the stream and commentating with us.
100%.
Biggest shout out to Jacob though, with all the back end and all the software.
Yeah. He really pulled all of this together, and he deserves a lot of value.
Ooh.
I guess we're not ending then. We haven't finished apparently. Okay, so we have finished.
Yeah. I think we're done.